I'm the best and nobody else can say nothing to me. Hi, my douchies. Welcome back to the Alchemize podcast. My name is Destiny. I'm your host, and I use the internet as my personal journal where I speak about whatever I want. Personal journal indeed. Today's topic is kind of something that I've been dealing with ever since I was young, and I think I've finally figured out a way to express it in a comprehensive way, because this is literally something that I remember dealing with when I was like 12, 13 years old, all the way up to now. I'm gonna start out with a question. Are you hiding your light? I ask this because I noticed that for me, growing up, I was around people who always used to call me an attention seeker. They used to say things like, oh, you like attention. You're always seeking attention. Oh my God, you're always trying to be a little attention seeker. And I remember really internalizing that. I really used to try my best not to do anything that could be interpreted as trying to outshine anyone else, because it would come across like I'm an attention seeker. Oh, you're doing your best to get a good grade for a test? Oh, you're such an attention seeker. Oh, you're putting on heels to look cute to go to this event? Oh, you're such an attention seeker. Oh, you're putting on lip gloss to school? You're such an attention seeker. There were so many little things as a young developing girl that I used to do that felt like self-expression that was being shut down and turned into attention seeking. It's gotten to such a point that I started to internalize it, and whenever I saw other people acting the way I used to act, I would call them attention seekers. I would say, oh my God, this girl, like, why is she doing the most? She's such an attention seeker. And that's the cycle of shame that I'm trying to dismantle in my own mind right now, because I had to clock myself a few times and ask myself, why do I think that about this person? Why do I have this negative thought when it comes to this specific behavior? Where does that come from? It comes from a part of me being reflected back in what this person is doing. A part of me that I've had to shut down, or a part of me that I decided to shut down because I didn't want to deal, or my nervous system was so affected by the way that I was being treated, for the way that I was being perceived, that now that I see someone else do it, it triggers me and it makes me have the same negative thoughts that others had of me back then. So basically, I had to work backwards. I thought to myself, okay, I have this negative thought. Where is it coming from? Why am I thinking that? What do I feel when I have that thought? Oh, it's like a thing, this shame in my stomach. Like I feel like a clenching. I feel a little bit of an awful, like wanting to hide, like I feel like my body physically wants to like close. And all that comes from being told I was an attention seeker at 13. Now, when you're 13, you're a developing girl, you're being yourself and probably silly, goofy, annoying. You're not really focused on seeking attention. You're more just embodying yourself. But little by little, that did dim my light. And now I notice that it affects me because a few weeks ago, a colleague said something to me that made me hyper aware that I am possibly being watched. It's so silly because she didn't say anything bad, but I notice that I can shine as long as I'm not aware that others are perceiving me, because that was the trigger when I was younger. As long as I feel like I'm in a safe bubble where nobody is perceiving me, I can be as beautiful, as impressive, as well-spoken, as positive as I want. But as soon as someone comes up to me and goes, hey, I've noticed this and this and this, or hey, how come you do that? It's like, it's not even that they say something negative. It's just that they are showing with their words that they have noticed. Hey, you're being perceived. That's what that translates to. Like, hey, you're being perceived. And I notice that whenever I realize that I'm being perceived, I have the biggest urge to shrink. And I was just about to say, I don't know why that is. I do know why that is, but the nervous system response is so palpable to me, and it's so crazy how years of this internalized thought has created, first of all, a judgment within me towards others, and also a literal physical reaction whenever I feel like I'm being perceived. And that's where a lot of my self-sabotage also comes from. Would you believe me if I told you that sometimes when I notice that other people are proud of me, or they're happy that I'm doing something right, or they commend me for something, I have the urge to just quit. Like, instead of taking it as a, okay, great, I'll keep going, it makes me want to go like, oh shoot, they saw me. Like, now I gotta go back into my cocoon, and now I gotta make sure I become invisible again, which feels so against my nature. And it's so interesting because whenever I do meet people for the first time, their first impression is always that I'm a very outgoing, extroverted person. But anyone who's known me for a very long time will know that over time I've become less and less extroverted than before. Now, some people would consider that an improvement, especially the ones that benefit from my light being dimmed, but it prevents me from being able to maybe level up in a way that is going to be beneficial to others in the future. And so why it's important that I realize this about myself and how it can help you. When you notice judgments or negative thoughts come up inside of you, and you notice where it sits in your body, and if you can identify where it comes from, you'll know exactly what you need to work on and where your self-growth lies. For me, it's in allowing myself to be seen more, because I self-sabotage based on how perceived I feel. My nervous system has trouble processing the feeling of being out there. It's interesting because I'm talking to a camera right now and I'm going to post this video on YouTube, but the environment that I'm in right now is quite comfortable. I'm at home, I'm in my own studio, and I feel very safe here. We're even in the dark. I feel very safe. But sometimes when people come up to me and tell me that they like my videos, it makes you cringe a little bit. And I notice that I need to fight the urge to slack or to not want to pursue this as intensely as I am, because I want to make sure that people don't think that I'm trying to seek attention. So instead of things flowing out of me out of enjoyment, I start to be very hyper aware and afraid that I'm being performative, because once you know that you're being watched, that changes the way that you move. And if I know that people are watching the way that I move, how will I act then? Is it now become a performance? Am I now trying to act better because I know that they're watching? How can I be free when I know that I'm being perceived? Now, the trick is to allow yourself to be perceived. Allow people to have whatever judgments that they want. Like, basically have that be a non-factor to you as a being. And especially as women, we try to take up so little space because we don't want to stick out or not conform to the status quo. But I'm telling you that there is a light shining inside you, and it deserves to be shined. Not to say that we all are going around and being inconsiderate of others and egotistical and I'm the best and nobody else can say nothing to me. You know, it's not that vibe. It's more self-assurance and confidence, and looking at someone and saying, yeah, I am good at that. Thank you for noticing. Or, yeah, you know, I've worked really hard on that skill. That's why you probably noticed that I'm good at it. Oh, thank you so much for that. You've noticed? That's amazing, because I've been doing my best to reach here. What's so bad about that? Why do you need to downplay a compliment? Why do you need to pretend it's not happening? If you're amazing, you're amazing. If you're beautiful, you're beautiful. If you're impressive, you're impressive. That's not something to now downplay because you want to seem humble. Humility doesn't mean putting yourself down. It's you not putting others down to make yourself look higher. In fact, when you judge people based on a shame or a negative thought that you might have about your own behavior that's being reflected back in this person, that's when you're not being humble. That's when you're setting yourself above this person and pretending that your opinion is of higher value than theirs, or your perception of self is of higher value than theirs. If that becomes clear to you, you notice that there is no point in judging, being mean to, or having negative thoughts around people being themselves. You just appreciate whoever they are for what they are. And if there are behaviors that are being presented that you don't like or that don't fit in your moral compass, then you disassociate from that. Simple. But Question yourself. Allow your thoughts to be observed by you and question them. Where is this coming from? Why do I think this? Is this even my thought? Or was this ingrained in me a long time ago without me even realizing? Because that's what happened to me. So are you hiding your light? Stop that and embrace it. That's the video, my douchies. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, and leave a comment letting me know what you guys liked about the video, if you guys would like to hear about any other topics. And I'll see you guys next week, next Sunday on the Alchemize podcast. Bye, my douchies.